the millionaire Adrian Caldwell, had always believed that elegance existed not only in wealth, but in how people were treated, and he took great pride in showing his wife, Mara, the finest experiences the world could offer. On a crisp Friday evening, they arrived at Le Solstice, a restaurant renowned for its exclusivity and impeccable service. Their chauffeur pulled up to the entrance, and as the couple stepped inside, their expectations of refinement were immediately dimmed by the audible bustle of a fully packed dining hall. Each table seemed occupied by animated diners, and the soft lighting flickered across glasses filled with ruby red wine. Adrian approached the reception stand with a calm confidence, expecting the staff to recognize his reservation or, at the very least, make room for a distinguished guest. Behind the stand stood a tall waiter, assigned to guide guests until the maitre d' arrived. The waiter looked stressed, juggling a long list of names, impatient customers, and signals from the kitchen. When Adrian politely stated his name and reservation time, the waiter barely glanced at him before scanning the room again. "I don't see your name here," the waiter muttered, frowning at the tablet in front of him. Adrian leaned forward, certain it must have been an error, and explained that the reservation had been confirmed. Twice, once online and again by phone. Instead of checking further, the waiter shook his head sharply and muttered something under his breath, something that carried just enough edge to catch the attention of nearby guests. Mara felt the sting of embarrassment rise to her cheeks as the waiter's voice grew louder, accusing Adrian of trying to skip ahead of others and insisting the couple should learn to wait like everyone else. There was no courtesy, no professionalism, only an agitation that spilled into disrespect. Conversations at surrounding tables softened as people turned to watch the unexpected scene unfold. Adrian, normally composed, felt a wave of shock at being spoken to so rudely, particularly in front of his wife, whom he wished to treat with dignity and comfort. He tried once more to diffuse the situation, raising his hands gently and assuring the waiter that he was not seeking special treatment, only clarity about their booking. But the waiter snapped back with a cutting remark, questioning whether Adrian had even made a reservation, and implying that people like him always expected the world to bend. The sting of the comment hit the room like cold air. Mara reached for Adrian's hand, her eyes revealing humiliation mixed with disbelief. Guests exchanged looks, whispers rising from several directions. Adrian, sensing that continuing the confrontation might escalate matters, withdrew slightly and murmured to his wife that they should step aside and reassess their options. Yet beneath his calm exterior, a quiet storm was building, fueled not by pride alone but by the public disrespect inflicted on the woman he loved. As the couple stepped away from the reception area, Mara tried to regain her composure, placing a gentle hand on Adrian, arm to reassure him. "It's all right," she whispered, though her voice trembled ever so slightly. Adrian's mind raced. He had faced tough negotiations, high-risk deals, and moments of public scrutiny in his professional life, but nothing stung quite like this, being treated with disdain while trying to give his wife a special evening. He wasn't a man prone to anger, but he believed deeply in fairness, respect, and accountability. After a moment of quiet deliberation, he approached a discreet corridor leading to the manager's office. A hostess who had witnessed the incident quickly intercepted him, her expression full of concern. "Sir, I'm so sorry about what happened," she whispered. "That waiter, he's been overwhelmed tonight, but what he said was unacceptable. Please let me get the maitre d'." Within minutes, the maitre d', polished man named Laurent, hurried out, his face strained with alarm. He apologized profusely before Adrian even spoke and invited the couple to a private seating area away from the crowd. Mara accepted with a nod, grateful for the chance to breathe, while Adrian explained calmly but firmly what had occurred. Laurent listened intently, taking notes, his brows furrowing deeper with each detail. When Adrian finished, Laurent bowed his head slightly and said, "Mr. Caldwell, Mrs. Caldwell, I assure you this behavior does not reflect our standards. Allow me to correct this injustice immediately." While Laurent went to address the issue, Adrian and Mara sat in a quiet alcove, immersed in soft lighting from a nearby wall sconce. Yet even in this calmer space, Adrian replayed the event. In his mind, how quickly a simple evening out had spiraled into public Humiliation. Mara squeezed his hand gently. You did the right thing by staying calm, she murmured. Anyone else might have shouted back. He managed a faint smile. I wanted tonight to be special for you, said, and it still can be, she replied with warm determination. Laurent soon returned, his demeanor resolute. He informed them that the waiter had been temporarily removed from the floor pending further review and that their table, one of the most private in the house, was ready. He insisted that the entire evening would be complimentary, not as an attempt to appease them superficially, but as a sincere gesture of responsibility. Adrien and Mara accepted the offer, not for the luxury, but for the acknowledgement that respect had been restored. As they dined the earlier, tension slowly melted away. Their meal was flawless, served with exceptional care by staff who seemed eager to reaffirm the restaurant's dignity. By dessert, Adrien found himself reflecting, not on the disrespect they had endured, but on the quiet strength in Mara's presence beside him. Despite the evening's rocky start, the couple left the restaurant hand in hand, reminded that dignity wasn't measured by wealth or status, but by how one carried oneself in face of adversity, and in that they had triumphed.